So one day, I was kind of bored and just watching YouTube, and I saw a video of mine recommended that made Left 4 Dead 2 more realistic with mods. And watching the video, I thought it was kind of cool. With the mods included in the video, this person made the game look like something that would come out today and would actually be good. But regardless, when I was watching the video, I suddenly had an epiphany. I remember that Left 4 Dead 2 had a mode called Realism, and the hardest difficulty in the game is called Expert Realism. Throughout the years, people have recorded and uploaded videos of themselves beating every campaign in that mode. So you might say that this is like the 24-hour Valorant video where I'm doing an idea that's been done before and I'm being unoriginal, and I guess that's somewhat true. But unlike the Valorant video, I have a little twist to make things a little bit more interesting. I'll try to beat every campaign in Left 4 Dead 2 with quote-unquote realistic mods to make it more interesting. So with that in mind, I actually beat every campaign in Left 4 Dead 2 with quote-unquote realistic mods, and let's just say I had no idea what I was getting into. Are you kidding? Oh my god. Please. I can't make it. Oh, what the fuck? He was upstairs? What are you doing? How did he hit me? Oh no! Okay, so before we get into playing the game, I want to explain what mods I have for this challenge. I took most of the mods from different Left 4 Dead 2 realistic mod videos and combined them into a collection on Steam. While I don't want to go over every mod I included into the pack, I want to explain a few of the mods that I have. Firstly, the tactical movement mod. I included a tactical movement mod in order to make the game's characters move in a more realistic way. So instead of the game moving like Left 4 Dead 2, it moves more like Ready or Not, Squad, Insurgency, and many other tactical FPS games. Secondly, the Division skins. I chose the Division skins mainly because I thought it looked cool, and I was originally going to have regular tactical soldier skins, but I decided not to use them mainly because I still want to have the spirit of Left 4 Dead still intact or something like that. I don't know, I just didn't feel like using regular generic soldier skins. Thirdly, the graphic mods. I included a few graphic mods in order to make the game look nicer, like an HD skybox, dynamic lighting, and many more high quality texture mods. Nothing really more to say there. Finally, and probably the most controversial mod I might have on here, no damage debuff realism. This mod makes guns do normal damage to zombies instead of debuffing that damage. Also, I'm not sure if it's this mod or not, but for some reason I could revive teammates in realism mode now. Not sure why, and I'm not even sure if it's this mod, but I guess that's cool. Makes the game slightly easier, despite it not being realistic, so I guess the title of this video is a little bit of a lie, but it is what it is. Now, I know a few of you are going to be angry that I'm using a no damage debuff mod for this challenge, but I still think it's somewhat difficult to complete this mode due to the damage that's taken on you being really high, certain weapons barely doing any damage, and special infected bosses like the Witch and Tank being extremely difficult to kill, and could also kill you instantly, which still makes the game very difficult. Just to let you all know, all of these mods are in a collection I made, and the collection is in the description below, so if you want to play the game with the collection I made, you can. Also, I'm doing this challenge solo despite it being a 4-player game, mainly because I don't want to subject anyone to what I've had to play the past few weeks. So, with all of that taken care of, let's start with the first campaign, which is alright, let's fucking go. So, going into this, I had no idea what to expect, and in my mind, I had no idea if I was actually going to do this or not. But starting with the first level, it wasn't too bad. However, I did have a close call at the end. It's right there! There's a fucking spinner, but... Oh, I'm down. No! There's no way. Thank God. That was a close one. That was a close one. Holy shit. But thankfully, I made it to the safe room, and going into the second level, I was pretty optimistic. But then, the second level made me realize how difficult this mode really is. The level made me realize how much damage regular zombies do to you, and how special infected like the tank and the witch are ruthless and can kill you and your team in an instant. But despite the amount of unfair tank spawns, I managed to complete the level. Oh my god. Let's fucking go! Finally! Oh my god. Now, going into the third level, it didn't really take that long despite a jockey spawning at the worst time possible at the end, but I still managed to complete this level quickly. In my mind at this point, I thought I was going to complete this campaign very quickly, but the fourth and final level is anything but quick. This took forever. What? Did Nick just fall to his death? It was mainly because of a mod I had that made us lose consistently. You see, I have this mod called Left for Bots, which is a mod that quote-unquote improves the AI in the game. One of those improvements is picking up gas cans and pouring them into generators. The problem with this is the bots would have a fixed path they always have to follow, and they would always choose the longest path, which would lead them to getting killed all the time. I had no idea how to get past this section until I found a keybind that would play a big role in completing not only this campaign, but all the campaigns as well. It is called the Orders keybind. This bind basically commanded the bots to follow you no matter what. This key does prevent them from picking up any gas cans, but it is better than having bots get gas cans from far distances where there's gas cans literally a few steps away. Anyways, the Orders keybind helped a ton during this level, and after playing this level for 3 hours, I managed to finish it and finally complete the first campaign. And fun fact, this was my first campaign I ever completed on Expert, so there's that. But regardless of completing my first campaign, I still had a long way to go. Golf club, let's fucking go. This is the first DLC campaign I played, and for some reason, the DLC campaigns are a lot harder than some of the original campaigns. Take for instance, the first level of the passing. The start of this level is not too difficult. There may be a tank that spawns at the beginning, which can really mess you up depending where it spawns. If it spawns in a close space, you are basically guaranteed to die unless you are very lucky. But the tank doesn't hold a candle to the witch. The witch has a permanent spawn at the altar in the park. She is basically unavoidable, meaning you have to trigger her, and triggering her also spawns a huge horde. Hell, there's even a horde before you even get to her. Getting past this section alone took way too long, but despite the amount of times I died, and the amount of times my teammates triggered her because they aren't smart enough to get past her, I was able to beat this level and get to the safe room. The second level was actually not too bad. The push at the end was kind of difficult and it took me a few tries to actually get past it, but it was manageable and I was able to get past the level after like 1 or 2 tries. The last level of the campaign kind of shocked me as it was another scavenge finale, but since I learned my lesson from Dead Center, I just used my Orders keybind and I was actually able to complete the level without dying once. It kind of surprised me how easy the finale was, and it kind of shocked me that the first level was the most difficult and each level got less and less difficult as it went on. Honestly, I thought that since I kind of got the gist of this game, I thought the next campaign would be easy, especially that the next campaign was... Oh! What the fuck? For context, back then, This was one of my favorite campaigns to play in Left 4 Dead. I really like the amusement park environment, and sections like the roller coaster and the concert made me really enjoy the campaign. Going into this, I was pretty excited to play it, and honestly, the first 2 levels were pretty easy. Either that, or I had really good luck. I did have a close call at the second level with the merry-go-round, but I was able to reach the safe room with ease. However, my troubles with this campaign begin with the 3rd level. You first start off in a love tunnel, and it can be somewhat difficult to traverse through, mainly due to the horde, but it's not that grueling to get through unless a tank spawns, which, if a tank spawns in the love tunnel, you are basically dead. Oh, great, tank. And I got hit. And I'm smoker. Yep. That is literally one of the worst places for them to take this on. Like, why? Why there? Where the real trouble comes in is the roller coaster section. This section was relentless. It's another crescendo push, except the trouble comes from teammates who do not follow you and are always falling behind. Remember that improved AI mod I was talking about earlier? Yeah. This made me realize that that mod was useless. The bots could never catch up. The game even tricked me one time when I had no ammo. I just noticed this while editing. You have ammo. Like, I'm not sure what you're talking about. You have 250 bullets. Like, that's like more than enough for that part of the level. So, yeah. And when I found an ammo pile, they put a fucking jockey and a smoker there to kill me and my teammates. It took so long for me to reach the alarm that when I got to the safe room, I just barely made it with little to no health. But if you thought that level sucked, wait till you see the next one. The next level start is not too difficult, despite my teammates not knowing how to throw mollies correctly. You fucking failed. You stupid. Or you can. Oh my god. The level becomes impossible when you reach the alarm part of the level. This crescendo event was one of the hardest parts of the campaign. Before you even start the crescendo event, you had to defend yourself against a huge horde before the gate would even open. And that gate takes forever to open. And when it does, you have to push through the zombies and get to the safe room, which I failed multiple times to do. No! Fuck! Oh my god! The fucking spinner! Oh my god, dude. Why are they so fucking stupid? Great. Oh my god, why is... This section alone took me almost 3 hours. But after a while, I finally made it. Kind of. It's literally right there. Please. 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 Close the fucking door and... Yes! Oh my fucking god. Oh my god, thank fucking god. Holy shit. After finally getting through that cruel, sadistic level, I finally made it to the finale. And a tank spawned at the beginning, which almost barely killed us. But despite an unusual tank spawn at the beginning, we finally got to the concert finale, which was tough to get through, but surprisingly wasn't too bad. Yeah, there were a few times where we died, but hey, we managed to beat the level, and after beating it, I was very relieved. Let's go! Let's go! Rochelle's dead, but let's go! After playing that campaign, I realized that going forward, this wasn't going to be the easiest challenge to accomplish. Like the last campaign, the first 2 levels were not too difficult. While there were a few hiccups along the way, most of the time we made it to the safe room very easily. But like with Dark Carnival, the 3rd and 4th levels were horrendous. Starting with the 3rd level, the beginning had us fight hordes of zombies and even a tank, which led us to dying at the beginning. But after getting through all that, we had to go through a horde event where we had to push our way through these shacks, and like before, the bots pushed through the horde as slowly as possible. I had to keep retrying this section mainly because of how slow the bots pushed through the horde, but there was one attempt in this section that was pretty interesting. I died like usual during this section, and I thought that the bots were just going to die, but surprisingly, they didn't. Why are they going back? Why are they going back? Okay, please. In fact, they survived long enough to come and rescue me, which then led us to finally reaching the safe room. I didn't think the next section would be harder, but I had no idea what was coming. The final level of the campaign is where you have to defend yourself until rescue arrives, which sounds easy enough, except before you even get to the rescue section, you have to deal with hordes of zombies beforehand, and even some special infected. There goes all my fucking health. But then we get to the real part of the level. Now, at first, it just seems like a regular finale where you just deal with 1 or 2 hordes and a tank. Nothing special. Difficult maybe, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. That is, until they decide to spawn in 2 tanks for us to fight. Now, just dealing with 1 tank is already hard enough as it is. But fighting 2 tanks on expert difficulty is just unfair. Even after I killed 2 tanks, 2 of my teammates were killed. But despite all of that, our rescue finally arrived, and I made it out the level alive and left Coach to die. Yes! 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 Fuck all of you! Fuck all of you! Overall, while the 3rd and 4th levels were challenging, the campaign was actually not too bad and long to finish. And after finishing it, I was hoping that things would be a lot easier after that. But, spoiler alert, they weren't going to. Oh no! Thank God. Smoker took a while. Aside from Nick running into me and getting shot in the head. Oh my God, Nick. Why the fuck? That was your fault. That's your fault. The first level was a breeze, like always. The second level, however, was anything but a breeze. I was unaware that I was going to the sugar mill, which was home to several witches, and playing through it, I was oblivious to what I was walking into, and surprisingly, this wasn't the worst part of the level. Since triggering witches was not an option, I had to sneak past every single witch as much as I could, and shockingly, I was able to do it. Where the level becomes problematic is when we get to the elevator section. In this section, you have to call an elevator and wait for it while a horde tries to kill you. Well, this may not sound too bad, since I'm playing with bots with the smoothest brains ever. They can't defend themselves well and end up dying, which really prevented me from progressing. Well, there goes Nick. It's over because you could. What the fuck? You could have just moved a little bit, but no. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? But despite all that, I managed to get to the safe room and move on. Honestly, while there were a few close calls, the last 3 levels were honestly not that difficult. I was kind of surprised how easily I breezed through these levels, and even the finale, while I almost died at one point, I managed to survive enough to be rescued, so there's that. I think that aside from the second level, this campaign wasn't too bad. I thought to myself that things would get easier from here. Then I saw my next campaign. Fucking stop following me, bro. For some reason, I was dreading playing this campaign. I think it was because I remember several crescendo events that I thought would take forever to get through. So going into the first level, it was like the other campaigns in the sense that it wasn't too bad. I had a rough start at the second level though. At the beginning, a charger charged me and Nick got thrown into an area that was inaccessible for me to get to, so when he was downed, he basically just died. Thankfully, I was able to rescue him and move on, but going forward, I was not looking forward to the alarm part of the level, but to my surprise, it actually wasn't too bad. I was actually able to stop the alarm and actually reach the safe room with ease. The third level of the campaign was not really that difficult. It had one section where there were several cars that could cause a horde, but I was able to get past that very easily and get to the safe room very easily as well. The fourth level had a section that I was not looking forward to. In this section of the level, we have to wait for this parade float to make a bridge for us to cross, and while waiting, we have to fight a horde. To my surprise, this section was actually not that difficult, and hell, I was even able to kill a witch during this horde event.
Oh shit! Is she dead? She's dead. Okay, thank God. Oh, I think that's the first time I ever killed a witch.
So far, this campaign that I thought was going to be hell was actually manageable. Then we get to the finale, which I was also dreading, but unlike the other ones I just talked about, I was right about this one. This sucked.
This is such a terrible spot. Okay, you know what? Please, please, give us time. Please just stop. Please just stop. Of course, there had to be a spinner. There had to be a fucking spinner. Of course, of course. Oh my God.
Pushing through this bridge with a horde that never stops with teammates that are slow as bricks while fighting a tank is the perfect blend of a vexation. It's a real word, just search it up. I had no idea what to do. I wasn't sure if I should just take my time with it or rush through it. But I realized something. I always pushed the right side of the bridge and ended up dying. But I thought to myself, what if I pushed the left side? I decided that I was just going to push the left side of the bridge, and while I thought this was not going to work, because I ended up going down trying to do it.
I'm dead.
I actually managed to get up and get past the horde and tank and somehow ended up at the helicopter, and also somehow Rochelle caught up to me.
I'm in! Wait, how did Rochelle get here? What the fuck?
After beating this campaign, I was finally relieved I was done with the official Left 4 Dead 2 campaigns, and all I had left was the DLCs and the original Left 4 Dead 1 campaigns. I was optimistic that the campaigns with the OG cast would be a lot easier. Then I realized the next campaign was a DLC campaign.
There's no way we have to watch this every time we fail.
Since this was a DLC campaign, in my mind, this was going to take forever, and honestly, I was right. When I started playing the first level, I was hoping that since I'm playing with a different cast, they would be smarter, right?
What was that? Oh, fucking blew up a gas cannon, I think. I'm trapped. Francis, what the fuck? Francis, what are you doing?
No. They weren't. When I got to the section where I had to fight a tank that's hiding in a freight car, I had no idea what to do, especially that there were a horde of zombies that we had to fight as well. Then after a few attempts, I remember something. Look at what's at the beginning of the level. A gas can. Since there were no Molotovs in sight, there was basically no way for me to kill the tank without fire, so I had the bright idea to bring that gas can to the freight car and set the car on fire right after I released the tank, and while I almost died, it actually worked. Not only that, we actually managed to get to the safe room, but after that level, things got worse. Without going into too much detail, there were times where tanks would spawn in unfair areas.
How did he hit me? What kind of spawn is that? Oh my god. Well, I'm on my own now.
Special infected coming at the wrong times.
No! Screwed.
And even a witch that ruined my chances to get to the end, which was right in front of me.
Of course, Lewis started with a witch. But we just gotta kill her. Oh shit! We were right there! We were right there!
Going through this level was basically hell, and trying to traverse through parts like the boat was an utter nightmare. It actually got to the point where when I actually beat the level and made it to the safe room, I actually couldn't believe it.
Oh my god.
However, the finale kept this utter nightmare of a campaign going when I had to turn on generators that led to hordes and tanks spawning every single time I turned on a generator. But after I turned on the generators and managed to get on the bridge, I remembered something about this campaign. This campaign's gimmick is that someone has to sacrifice themselves in order to complete the level. Since the bots died, and even if they were alive, they would have no clue how to sacrifice themselves in order to progress, I died and had to repeat the level all over again. It led to me playing the level over and over again until I finally reached the bridge and became the sacrifice for my team.
Okay. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I did it! Let's go! I'm a sacrifice! I'm a fucking sacrifice!
After beating the campaign, never was I more relieved after finishing 3 levels that were nightmares to play within their own ways. At this point, I was hoping I got past the worst of it. And
Bills.
it shouldn't really shock me, mainly because this is literally the first campaign of Left 4 Dead, but it was probably one of the easiest campaigns I've played so far. Was the campaign a complete breeze? Not really, there were a few bumps along the way.
Oh my god, just please fucking drop. It didn't drop. It didn't drop down! Oh god damn it.
I need some help.
There's a hunter. Of course there's a hunter.
That was close.
Well, fuck.
And while a few of those bumps were close calls, this was the first campaign so far where I did not die once. Even though this is the first campaign of the first game, I was still surprised that I beat it in one go, especially that this campaign has 5 levels to beat. But I used what I learned from the other campaigns to my advantage, and it paid off. I was wondering if this was going to be the only easy campaign I would play, but
He missed.
I'll try to keep this short, but this is another DLC campaign. But surprisingly, not only is this one of the easier DLCs, but one of the easiest campaigns I've ever played during this playthrough. Like the last campaign, I didn't fail one level, mostly because the campaign only really has 2 levels, and while the campaign wasn't a complete walk in the park, I was still able to beat the campaign with ease. Sort of.
This might be the end. This actually might be the end.
This is going to hell real fast.
Ow, you fucking dumbass. Do not fuck me over, Smoker. I'm the only one that survived!
It was a close call, but hey, I still beat it. Sadly though, this was the last of the easier campaigns I would play, and I would soon enough struggle again with the next set of campaigns.
Oh great, there's a jockey. The jockey bugged out.
Starting with the first level, like with the other campaigns, it wasn't too difficult, aside from not finding ammo or a different gun, which, for me, was kind of odd, but I still managed to get to the safe room, despite having no ammo at the end. The second level was actually not too bad at first. I somehow managed to get through the sewer very easily, until right near the end, a tank spawned, and it was in an enclosed area. And when I thought things couldn't get any worse, this happened.
Hurry up!
You fucking idiots! You fucking idiots!
After that little blunder, I managed to get to the safe room on my second attempt, which I was relieved by because I thought that level was going to take forever. If only I knew. The third level was nothing special. It was another simple level that was challenging but doable. That was until we got to the end where we were tricked and thought we could enter the safe room, but we couldn't, and we had to face another horde again right before we could get in, and we almost had no health left. Thankfully, that part was short and we managed to get into the safe room. The next level had a horrible start where a tank spawned and we almost died, but thankfully we managed to just barely kill it. Also, the game started glitching out of nowhere. I don't really know what that was, but that happened. Then we get to the hardest part of the campaign, the push. This alleyway push was the hardest part of the campaign.
Come on, come on. Oh no! Francis, you were in the way.
I also was very lost and didn't know where to go, so on top of being very lost and also having to fight an endless horde, you probably knew where this was going to go.
Grenades here!
Nope. Oh, wow, okay.
After a couple tries, I managed to barely get to the safe room. When I finally got to the finale of this campaign, at the beginning of the level, there was a witch that killed me immediately.
What? Are you kidding me?
But thankfully, one of my teammates had a defib, so I was able to play again. Aside from that, the finale was just another defend yourselves finale, with the usual horde, then tank, then horde, then tank, then rescue comes mission that isn't really too difficult if you know where to defend yourselves. I thought it was pretty funny though that we all abandoned Francis at the end though.
Okay, you know what? If you guys don't make it, oh well.
We have to make it to the boat!
If I get attacked on the boat, I swear to God. Wait, the bots are fucking leaving Francis. What are you doing?
Where'd you go? We need to get
Okay,
back.
Bills. Come on, Lois. Goodbye, Francis. Goodbye.
Despite going through all that throughout the campaign, little did I know, things were about to get much worse.
Bro, what are you guys doing?
I first had a terrible start at the beginning. Literally at the start, we were bombarded by a horde and almost died.
That's a lot. Holy. Oh my God. What the Bro, barely got out of this fucking. Why? Bro. This is a terrible fucking start.
But thankfully, I was still able to get to the safe room after that. The next level had a witch within our path, and I decided to come up with a strategy that to my surprise, actually worked.
Okay, wait, I have an idea.
Shit.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
Okay.
Wait,
You ain't gonna fall, I got you.
did this work? Wait, I'm a fucking genius. I'm a fucking genius. I did. That actually fucking worked. That actually worked. I did not think that would fucking work. Oh my god.
I actually couldn't believe that incredibly stupid plan worked. Too bad the rest of the level was difficult to the point where it took me several tries in order for me to beat it, but at least I was still able to beat it and get to the safe room. The third level was also very difficult to the point where it also took me several tries in order to beat it as well. But this time, it was a close call. You see, right at the end of the level, the game decided to put a witch right in front of the safe room, and somehow, I startled the witch, which ended up killing me. My only saving grace for beating this level was for the bots to make it to the safe room, which they did, but it took them forever to get in that fucking safe room.
Please just get in. Please just get in. Holy fuck.
Quit pissing around and get in here.
Please just close the door. Please close the door.
People, I need some help. That old man would leave one of us out there.
Please. 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 Get in. Get in, please.
Thanks. We've got to get inside. For me.
Oh. Oh my god. That was way too fucking close.
And if you thought those last 3 levels were bad, wait till you see this. The 4th level had us fighting and going through a section where either a witch or tank spawns, and then we go through this metal detector which also alerts a never-ending horde. Unsurprisingly, this was the hardest section of the campaign. No matter where it was at this level, it was always difficult to traverse through. It was getting to the point where I had no idea if I was going to finish this level or not, but to my shock, while I did go down right at the end, I actually managed to get picked up by my teammates and reach the safe room.
Wait. It's right there. We can make it. I believe. Yes! Oh my god. Get in. Holy shit.
After that nightmare of a level, I was dreading the finale, but unlike the last 4 levels, it actually wasn't that bad. It was the usual horde then tank level that is not really that difficult if you know what you were doing. And after going through the finale, I managed to get into that helicopter and beat the campaign. All I could hope for is that the last 3 campaigns I play are not that hard.
Bro! Oh my god.
Like with the other campaigns, the first level was nothing too special. I could say the same thing with the second level, despite it having a horde section that's slightly more difficult than the last level. Also, there was a witch in the way that almost ruined my progress.
Don't make the witch.
What? How did I start a leak? Holy fuck.
Fire in the hole.
I'm dead. I'm dead. Fuck!
Thanks a bunch.
Thank God. Holy shit.
After getting to that safe room and getting to the 3rd level, while it didn't take that many tries to get to the safe room, it was still somewhat of a struggle to get there. Near the end of the level, you have to activate a train car and drive it to a bridge that then alerts a horde of zombies. I knew that after a few attempts and failing, I knew I needed a plan. So I hatched a plan to find a pipe bomb and then save that pipe bomb for the horde. And then right when I let the train car go into the bridge, I immediately booked it into the safe room. And when I saw a horde in front of me, I threw a pipe bomb, and surprisingly, this worked and I actually made it to the safe room. It did take my teammates a good minute to get there though, but regardless, we still made it. The fourth level was honestly nothing too special either. While I did get lost at one point and died right at the end, I still made it to the safe room within only 2 attempts. Also, while doing research for this video, I found out that people had a hard time with the end of the 4th level, which, while it was kind of difficult, it really isn't that hard if you just keep moving. And it also doesn't hold a candle to the finale, which is one of the harder finales in the game. The start of the finale is unreasonably unfair, with a tank or witch spawning in the beginning, as well as a horde that stops you in your tracks. And even if you try to outrun the horde and make it to the house, you still have to wait for your teammates to catch up, and like I said before, they are slow as hell. But once you finally get to the house and call for rescue, you still have to defend yourselves from the hordes and tanks coming at you. I found the best place to defend yourself was upstairs in the house, and it works for fighting against the horde, but not that well against the tanks. The best place to fight him was outside, and even when you kill off the tank, another horde spawns immediately. The problem that arises from this is your teammates, again, are being super slow and not knowing to go upstairs, leading to your teammates dying because they have no idea what they are doing. This finale took a lot longer than it should have, mainly because of how dumb the AIs are.
Oh my god. Why did you guys run into the fire? They ran into the fire! What the fuck?
But after dealing with the smooth brain AIs, rescue came and I finally made it to the truck. All I have to say for that campaign was, while it was annoying to beat, it wasn't the worst. That has yet to come, and I knew this because the last 2 campaigns were DLCs.
There's nothing up here but gas cans.
The last 2 campaigns I had played were DLCs, and like I said before, the DLCs for some reason are some of the harder campaigns to play, and this was no different. This campaign is infamous for having one of the hardest crescendo events in the game, and I knew about it coming in. So playing the campaign's first level, like the others, was actually not that bad. Aside from my teammates dying at the end, it wasn't too bad. Then we get to the infamous 2nd level, which has the horrid crescendo event. But first, we have to fight a tank, which, FYI, this tank spawn is permanent, meaning every single time we fail and restart the level, we have to fight this tank, and the end results of fighting this tank were not pretty.
Ow. What? You know what? This runs. Fuck this run. I cannot believe you all fucking died to a rock.
After beating the tank and getting through a few hordes, we would get to the infamous crescendo event, and even though I was doubtful about it being difficult, I realized when I actually played the event, people were right. This event sucks. No matter what I did, I always ended up dying. Whether it's accidentally getting crushed by debris at the beginning, or dying in the sewer due to the overwhelming amount of zombies, this event was brutal. The thing is though, at the beginning of this event, every time I had a boomer bile, which I threw at the beginning, and whenever I went in the storm drain, they always avoided me and went for the boomer bile. If I didn't have that boomer bile, I cannot imagine how hard this level would actually be if I didn't have it. Getting through this level was probably one of the harder levels I had to play in the game, and even when I beat it, I was on the verge of dying, like always. When I actually beat the level, I couldn't believe it due to how many times I died during this run. After going through hell, the next level was thankfully not the worst thing ever. Sure, it was difficult to some extent, but after playing that monstrosity of a 2nd level, this was child's play. With the finale of the campaign, while it wasn't as bad as the second level, it was still pretty difficult. Instead of the usual defend yourself until rescue comes, you have to push your way into getting to the rescue, and it sucks. The horde just never stops, and there's even tanks. Even at one point, right when I was about to reach the finish line, this happens.
Okay. Of course a tank's there. Why the hell, dude? Are you fucking kidding me?
I couldn't believe how difficult the finale was, considering that I thought the devs would be a little bit more forgiving after the second level, but nope. I wouldn't say it's the worst finale that has yet to happen, but I'll say it's up there. After finally beating this campaign, I realized that people were not kidding when they talked about how hard this campaign was. Little did I know, even after playing all those campaigns and thinking I got past the worst of it, believe me when I say, it's going to get much, much worse.
Bro.
After playing nearly all the campaigns and after going through all the troubles the game threw at me, literally, we finally reached the final campaign. The Last Stand. Looking at this campaign, there are only 2 levels, so this being the last campaign and it only have 2 levels, you might think that this is going to be pretty easy, but remember, this is a DLC campaign, which means...
Fucking... We killed it. And then he died. Why didn't he heal?
This was the hardest campaign I played in Left 4 Dead. The first level's difficulty is just unethical. The start of the level has a horde that takes away your health, with several other hordes along the way to make things worse. Then you have to turn on generators at a junkyard, where you also have to defend yourself against a horde, and since I'm playing with the most brain-dead bots in the world, most of the time this never really went very well. And then after that, you have to rush your way to the safe room, which also has special infected and even a tank to stop you on your way. When the tank came and we started fighting against it, with little to no health, this happened.
What are you doing? The bots killed me. The bot fucking killed me. The bot fucking... Are you fucking for real?
Anyways, this level took around an hour to do, mainly because of how difficult traversing this level is, and how unfair some of the special boss infected spawns are. But after completing this level, I had no idea that the finale of this campaign was going to be much worse. The finale had you defending yourself against a horde and tanks, which sounds like the usual finale, except halfway through the level, you have to scavenge for gas cans, which, when the cans popped up, I got PTSD from the first campaign I played. I'm not saying this was harder, but I had an easier time getting the cans here, rather than the ones in Dead Center. Looking back at Dead Center, I could probably beat the finale very easily knowing what I know now from playing this game. But that's not the end of the level. Oh no, not even close. Right after you fill up the generator with gas, you have to fight a tank, and then after, fight an endless horde, and then fight 2 tanks.
I didn't know there were 2 tanks. Oh no. Well, it might be over. It's over.
I wonder if the person who made up this finale was a mental patient that escaped from the hospital, that changed their name and got a job at Valve and designed this finale. Who came up with this? Are they fucking insane? Fighting 4 tanks and scavenging with an onslaught of zombies is literally fucking insane. With what I just described, it's not really a shock that this took me a good minute to beat. But I think playing this level again and again made me figure out what to do against both the horde and tanks, and because of my trials and tribulations playing this level, I was actually able to beat the 2 tanks. Thankfully, after killing 2 tanks, I think they caught the mental patient at Valve and took him away because they were forgiving enough to make fighting the 2 tanks the last fighting level before the rescue boat came. And thank God I was able to make it to the boat. Can't say the same for the rest, but I could care less honestly. One of them killed me anyway, so I feel like it's deserved. That took way too long. 4 hours and 23 minutes. That's insane. With the other campaigns that were troubling, despite all the hardships I've had to deal with in those campaigns, I still would say I would play them again. Probably not an expert realism, but I would still play them again regardless. Even the campaigns like Coldstream and Dark Carnival, which had some of the hardest parts in the game, I would still play again. I am never playing The Last Stand again. After playing all 14 campaigns, I could say that originally I thought this was going to be very easy, and since I had over 100 hours in this game, I didn't think it would be as difficult as it was, but it definitely was very difficult. Something I realized when watching the footage is that within every campaign I played, I actually got better and better every time. Every campaign I had to learn to work around several things like the atrocious AI or limited movement I implemented. Playing on expert realism with quote-unquote realistic mods maybe you have to play the game in a different way, and doing this actually made the game more fun for me. Now what I mean by play the game in a different way is that instead of just rushing through the level like most people do, I actually had to pace myself while playing the game in order to help out my AI teammates, or even vice versa. It wasn't fun when I kept dying and had to redo certain sections for hours on end, but aside from that, I actually had fun doing this challenge. Now, unlike the 24-hour Valorant video where I said playing 24 hours straight was not worth it, I'd say doing this challenge was actually worth it. Aside from not losing sleep from this challenge, I believe I gained something else from this that I didn't when playing Valorant. Fulfillment. It actually felt rewarding beating all 14 campaigns on expert realism. With the Valorant video, sure, I was actually able to play within 24 hours, but I ended up the same rank I was at the beginning of the video. Hell, almost ended up with the same RR. While I was happy at the time I was actually able to play the game for 24 hours straight, it never really felt like I truly achieved something. Beating all campaigns in Left 4 Dead 4 on the hardest difficulty actually felt fulfilling to achieve. Would I urge anyone to try this challenge with or without mods? Honestly, it depends. If you're ready to deal with a lot of bullshit that comes with this game, then go ahead. If not, then don't even bother. But at the end of the day, if anyone asked me if doing this challenge was worth it, I would say yes. But I don't want to end it there, so here's a ranking of all the campaigns from least to most difficult. Just letting you know that this is just ranked from my experience from playing the game from this playthrough, and not what is objectively the most difficult. Anyways, number 14, No Mercy. There was really only 1 or 2 times where I actually struggled, but aside from that, easiest campaign I've ever played. Number 13, Crash Course. Was debating between No Mercy or Crash Course on which was easier, and I will say I actually struggled more in Crash Course despite it only having 2 levels, and near the end I almost didn't make it, so this one is slightly harder than No Mercy in my opinion. Number 12, Hard Rain. The sugar mill was the only really hard part of the campaign, the rest was pretty easy. Might be dumb luck, but I'll take it. Number 11, Dead Center. While I did struggle a lot during this campaign, especially the finale, it was mainly due to me not knowing what to do since this was the first campaign I played. Looking back on it, I could probably beat this campaign pretty easily. Number 10, The Passing. Only really has one difficult section, which is the witch at the altar at the first level. The rest was actually not too bad. Not the easiest, but serviceable. Number 9, Death Toll. Same with The Passing, only really has one difficult section, which is the push in the 4th level, but besides that, wasn't too bad. Number 8, The Parish. Might be because of luck, but I was able to get through the first 4 levels very easily with little to no retries with some of the levels. However, the finale where you have to push the bridge is brutal. Number 7, Swamp Fever. This beats the Parish mainly because of how difficult the last 2 levels are, and how in the finale they make you have to fight 2 tanks, which if they didn't spawn 2 tanks near the end, this would be lower on the list. Number 6, Blood Harvest. The section where you push your way to the safe room after destroying a bridge, plus just the entire finale where you have to deal with your fish brain teammates, makes this one of the more difficult campaigns to play. Number 5, The Sacrifice. Despite it only having 3 levels, each level has its own ways of being difficult and thus finds itself in the top 5. Number 4, Dead Air. The first 4 levels of the campaign were grueling to say the least. From trying to kill a tank in a small office space to trying to run into a terminal with a horde of zombies, this campaign does not fuck around. The finale was pretty easy though. Number 3, Coldstream. Yeah, the sewer is insane and the finale is also insane, but the first and third levels were not bad, which is why it's not higher on the list. But I will say, the second level is ruthless to say the least. Number 2, Dark Carnival. Kind of sad about how this campaign was one of my favorite campaigns to play back then. Now I'll remember this campaign to have 2 of the hardest pushes in the game. But hey, I'll still play it. Unlike number 1, The Last Stand. Yeah, I don't really like this campaign. Whether it's the junkyard in the first level or fighting 2 tanks at once in the second, it's a really brutal campaign to play, and that's really all I have to say about it. In fact, that's really all I have to say in general, so bye.